talk to us is Peace Obinani. So let's give it up for Peace.
Good afternoon, and thank you to the organizers of OSCAFEST, and thank you all for being here. My name is Peace Obinani, and I am a product marketing manager at Piggyvest. And I run a community called Non-Tech in Tech. So it's pretty much a community for non-technical talents in tech. So I'm not a technical person. I've never written a line of code in my life. So pardon me if this talk is a bit different, if you don't hear any technical stuff in it. And yeah, and lastly, I am a strong advocate of Bounty chocolate. So those of you that say Bounty chocolate is trash, I got my eyes on you. And yeah, so today we'll be talking about the power of communities, right? And yeah, so before we go into what a community is, show of hands if you are in a community, any kind of community at all. If you're active in a community, show of hands. I see less hands. If you own or run a community, show of hands. Lesser hands. All right. What is a community, right? So pretty much for me, a community is basically a group of people coming together with a common denominator. So that means they share the same interests, goals, background. And to be honest, it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be like, oh, a tech community or anything. Like, it could just be, we like the same artist and you form a community based on that. It could be, oh, we stay in the same area and you just form a community based on that. So that's pretty much what a community is. So you don't have to like look far and wide to find what a community is or know what a community is about. And yeah, so just straight to the point, why communities? You see companies, Apple, Google, Twitter most recently has a community feature. Why is everybody about communities, right? So, I'll just be focusing on how important communities are for individuals and businesses and teams. So businesses and brand, pardon me again, I'm a marketing person, so this might look a bit marketing-ish, but for businesses and brands, right, you find out that companies that have like strong communities, right, they do well with having customers that carry out brand advocacy for them. So what brand advocacy basically means is that you have customers that are carrying your product on their head, they're carrying your service on their head because they feel like they are part of something. So you're not just building products and just putting it out there. People feel valued, people feel like they're part of something. So they're going to tell their friends, their family about your product. And you see that companies like this tend to spend less on marketing, sponsored ads, and all of that because they have organic traction. So that's basically what community does for you. It does brand advocacy and awareness, and it in turn helps with customer acquisition and retention. So again, you're not spending so much on doing so much to acquire customers and retain these customers. It also helps with customer engagement. So you also see that online, companies that have like good community engagement, they could have like just 5,000 followers and they'll get more likes than a company that has 1 million followers because the company with 1 million followers doesn't engage, doesn't have a community, they are just posting, they're just talking at their customers, they don't relate with the customers, they don't understand the customer, there's no community, there's no vibe. But the company that has like 5K or 10K followers will get more people that will engage their posts and everything that they do. It also helps with you to gain insights, right? You're building a product, you're building a service, right? And you don't have a community of customers. There's no way that you're getting feedback to know what your customers want. So you're just building in isolation. So having a community helps with that, and overall, it helps with your customer satisfaction. So for teams as well, so that is like the internal side of things for companies, right? It makes team members feel less disconnected. So we're in a remote world, everybody's working remotely. So it's very easy for people that work in a company to feel very disconnected. They don't feel like, oh, they're part of a company. They just join a company. They're just like a +1 on the company's payroll. They don't feel like anything. So if you build like a community or a culture, like everybody likes to say, right, it makes it easy for people, for your team members to feel less disconnected. You see that a lot of people might get a better offer in terms of pay, but they tell you, you, oh, I'm happy here, even if the pay is like significantly or slightly lower than what they're currently earning, but they just like to remain where they are because of community. So it drives productivity as well. It makes employees feel very valued. And then for individuals, so I think that this is the part where a lot of people might be interested in. So if you're in a community, right, you agree with me that you don't know it all. So in a community, you can always reach out to people that like minds like you, that share the same interests, the same ideas, and you can just always reach out and ask questions. You don't know it all, you can just ask somebody that is more knowledgeable or throw a question out there and you get people to always answer or attend to you. Some days when you're feeling down, you don't want to do something or take a bold step, right? You step into your community or your friends, right? And you just get that ginger and vibe from them. Your accountability, you have been procrastinating that course that you said you were going to take. You have been procrastinating that thing. And then you have that person in the community that is gingering you to take the next step and, that is holding you accountable. And lastly, social capital. What does social capital mean? It's actually very simple, right? Again, because everyone is working remotely, or most people are working remotely, right? It's very easy to just isolate yourself. Oh, I'm earning $100K, whatever amount of money, and you're just there because I have the money, I can just chill. So very recently, right, in the fuel scarcity issue, someone tweeted that they had a friend that earned $80K and they still had to go and queue for fuel. And someone else said, there's no way I'll be earning that amount of money and I'll go and queue for fuel because I will have a connect. I can't be earning that kind of money. I'll be going to queue for fuel. So that's basically what it is. So it's not just about money. You build your social capital, and you do that with communities. So shameless plug. This is from our community, Non-Tech in Tech. So community benefits, basically, you get opportunities, and that's like the biggest part or the biggest benefit of being in communities. So you're not just on your own. You have people that are plugging you in for opportunities. So this is a review from 2 people. Someone got a talent acquisition advisor role with a tech company. And someone else, her friend was not even in the community, and the friend plugged her in to get a job. So it's really how powerful communities are. So again, your community is your social capital, so you should invest in it. So very importantly, right, you do not just join a community for the sake of joining a community. Some people just join. So the same way I asked how many people are active in communities, and everybody hands went down, right? So you don't just join the communities. Communities are meant to be symbiotic. You're not just there to be in a community. You need to add value. And how do you add value? Engage. So you engage, you build relationships, interact, ask somebody, what's your name, what do you do, what do you like to do for fun? Like, it doesn't have to have any strings attached. You're really just building your social capital, you're interacting with people, you're contributing, right? Share resources, share materials, share opportunities that come your way. Don't just hoard it to yourself, right? Give value to the community so that if you don't say something in 2-3 days or a week, everybody is going to be like, oh, where's this guy that is always dropping stuff for us here? And you're not just another member in the community. And lastly, accept. Here I was a bit torn about putting it here, but it's very important to accept that not everyone holds the same opinion as you. Some people go to communities to fight, right? You're in a community and somebody says X, Y, Z, and you are the first person that is going to say, oh, this is my opinion, you're saying rubbish, right? So that's not what communities are meant for. You're supposed to accept that, okay, this person has their opinion, I have my opinion, and 2 opinions can coexist, basically. So it takes a community, basically. I know we're familiar with the phrase that says it takes a village, but it does take a community to do stuff. It takes a community to get you that dream job. It takes a community to get you to the next level of your career. It takes a community to build the next unicorn. Thank you very much for listening. If you listened, and